Okay, moving on to my creator project. I took it from the perspective of a volunteer instead of a pre-hospital care worker or any member of the healthcare background. Um, in Singapore, we focus a lot on preparation as well as vigilance because there's not much happening locally, even though we have a high population density. So, yeah, so that's for the introduction. If you would like to know more, you can have a look probably under my profile. Yeah, the security risk that I chose was terrorism. It doesn't just affect us healthcare workers, but as well as the citizens who may be outside or commute on a daily basis. Um, yeah, basically terrorism is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. Then I moved on to providing some of the articles, yeah, to give a better background as well as context for the scene over here. Yeah, so that's a security risk. The approach would be gearing ourselves up by equipping ourselves with the appropriate skill sets, like psychological first aid, national disaster response, as well as disaster site mega command. Now, for psychological first aid, right, it was a course that was recently introduced by, I believe, the Danish Red Cross sometime last year. So it's still in the beginning phase locally, and we are trying to get more volunteers to be equipped in the area because when disaster does strike, right, a lot of people don't just have physical needs; they have psychological needs as well. Moving on, disaster response. It actually introduces like what are the local government agencies' guidelines, policies, so that we can complement their workforce. Like for example, us regular volunteers, right? We handle under the triage, we handle P3 casualties, those who can walk, who have sustained minor injuries. Yeah, that's basically it for national disaster response. Next, we have our disaster site mega command. Basically, it reinforces aspects of what we learned in disaster response, as well as how we can better assist the healthcare workers on the ground itself. So the course is again three, the first improve preparedness and response will be along with the plan provided. Currently, the campaign going on is, I believe, is SG Secure, about running, hiding, and tell if danger does show up around the corner. Okay, you have issues hearing me, it seems. Okay, is this better? Hello? Okay, I'll just carry on then. Yeah, so for part 3, I talked about the importance of having skills as well as knowledge plus tools in order to be operationally ready. And who are the people who should or can adopt this practice? So what I talked about was more of the go bag. Basically, it's a bag that allows one to be prepared for a disaster, or let's say if a crisis were to strike, and it will allow people to handle themselves for about 24 hours. Yeah, so it's a very quick response back. Why I chose to talk about it was because I think it's very applicable even if we aren't healthcare workers. It's good to be prepared, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, so I moved on towards the end of the creator project, talking about risks and limitations. Mostly because of the nature of the equipment that we use, right? A lot of us volunteers, we come into financial limitations because not everyone can afford such equipment. Like for example, recently we did a mass order for it's I believe a lot of the